$20 million US dollars. That is the estimated insurance value for a block of metal standing a mere 36.8 centimeters tall, 6.175 kilograms, containing exactly 4.927 kilograms of solid, 18-karat gold. But if you were to toss this chunk of gold into an ordinary jeweler's furnace, its raw material value would only be around $300,000. So what? What invisible magic transformed an inanimate lump of metal into the most expensive, most sacred, and most coveted sporting artifact in human history? Look at the greater numbers. Over 5 billion people, more than half of the Earth's population, will stop everything they are doing, holding their breath in front of screens, to witness the moment this gold is hoisted into the sky in the summer of 2026. Tens of thousands of tears have fallen. Legends have collapsed in bitter defeat, and new gods have been born, all just for the chance to press their lips against its cold surface once. It is not just gold. It is nearly a century of blood, sweat, and the ultimate thirst for glory. Today, step with us into a secret vault in Milan, Italy, a place where 1,000-degree flames melt metal, where Renaissance-era lost wax casting collides with the 21st century precision of X-ray scanners and vacuum chambers. Welcome to the anatomy and the forging of the heart of world football. To truly comprehend the value of the current golden trophy, we must turn back the wheel of time, returning to the turbulent days of the 20th century. Before the iconic image of two athletes lifting the earth was born, the footballing world worshipped another goddess, the JULES RIMET trophy. This solid gold sculpture of Nike, the Greek goddess of victory, was the ultimate prize dating back to the very first World Cup in 1930. But goddess Nike carried a curse of loss. FIFA's rules at the time dictated a harsh reality. Any nation that won the World Cup 3 times would earn the right to keep the trophy permanently. In 1970, driven by Pelé's footballing magic, the Brazilian national team reached the pinnacle for the 3rd time, taking the JULES RIMET to South America forever. But that glory was short-lived. In 1983, the JULES RIMET was stolen from the Brazilian Football Confederation headquarters. History records that it was melted down by thieves into lifeless gold bars and sold on the black market. The first symbol of global football vanished into the void forever. That horrific loss forced FIFA to forge a new ironclad law. From that moment on, no single nation would ever be allowed to permanently own the original trophy. And they needed a new icon for the 1974 World Cup. A global call was issued. 53 designs from the greatest sculptors across 25 nations were sent to Zurich. And amidst a sea of traditional cups and plates, one Italian man decided to shatter every artistic rule. His name was SILVIO GAZZANIGA, a quiet sculptor working as the art director for the G.D. Bertoni metal foundry in Milan. He did not sketch a cup. He sculpted a monument of life. GAZZANIGA locked himself in his studio for a week. "Football is movement," he said. "And victory is the moment a human being stretches beyond all physical limits to touch the top of the world." Instead of a hollow vessel, GAZZANIGA molded the figures of 2 athletes. Their bodies twist, spiraling with muscles bursting with vitality, their arms reaching into the air in the most frenzied moment of celebration. And resting perfectly between those raised hands is the entire globe. He employed the philosophy of contrast modeling. The bodies of the athletes are sculpted to be rough and textured, symbolizing beads of sweat, grueling hardship, and ultimate physical exertion. Conversely, the globe above is polished to a flawlessly smooth mirror finish, representing the pinnacle of pure glory. When the members of the FIFA committee saw GAZZANIGA's plaster model, they stood in stunned silence. From that day forward, the G.D. Bertoni foundry in Milan became the only place on Earth authorized to craft and restore this masterpiece. But today, to create the gold-plated replicas awarded to the champions, or to restore the original, hand sculpting no longer stands alone. It is guarded by high-tech machinery. The process of creating the golden trophy begins with an ancient technique, elevated over time through the perfect blend of handcrafted artistry and cutting-edge technology. Lost wax casting, Serre Perdue, an age-old method, is now the foundation of creating this legendary symbol of glory. 1. The beginning of the process. The creation of the trophy starts with ancient principles, specifically lost wax casting. In the past, molds were created from plaster, but today, this technique has been significantly upgraded by using industrial-grade silicone instead of plaster. This breakthrough allows for the creation of highly intricate and precise details of the athletes that form the trophy, ensuring unmatched accuracy. At the beginning of the process, natural beeswax is heated to 65 degrees Celsius and then injected into silicone molds using low-pressure pumping systems. These systems ensure that the wax flows into every small crevice of the mold without leaving any air pockets. This is a crucial step, as even the slightest error in the wax mold can affect the final product. Throughout this process, the low-pressure systems are continuously running, ensuring the wax is pumped slowly and evenly into the mold. The artisans monitor the process closely to ensure that there is no excess or shortage of wax in any detail. Every intricate part, from the athlete's muscles to the curves of their bodies, must be captured perfectly in the wax. 2. Beeswax and advanced technology. Once the beeswax is ready, it is poured into molds, carefully ensuring that it fills every small space, capturing the exact shapes and contours of the athletes. The low-pressure systems used to pump the beeswax ensure that every microscopic detail is filled, ensuring there are no air pockets within the mold. The wax mold is left to cool and solidify. The level of precision in this step is critical, as it will define the exact appearance of the trophy. The artisans then use industrial magnifying glasses to inspect the wax models for any imperfections. 3. Fine artisanship and magnification. After the wax has cooled, artisans use microscopes to ensure that every detail is flawless. Using small scalpels, they carefully remove any excess wax, ensuring the mold is precise to the millimeter. This manual precision is essential, as even the slightest imperfection can affect the final product. The work of these skilled artisans guarantees that the intricate features, like the athlete's muscles and facial expressions, are perfectly formed. Despite the involvement of machines, handcrafting remains the decisive factor in ensuring the finest details. These artisans act as the final checkpoint, ensuring that the wax mold is flawless before it moves to the next stages of the process. 4. Ceramic shell and quartz sand coating. Once the wax model is complete, the next step is creating the ceramic shell. The wax mold is dipped into fine ceramic slurry and then coated with a layer of industrial quartz sand. This sand is specially selected for its ability to withstand extreme heat without cracking, ensuring that the mold remains intact when subjected to the intense temperatures to come. The process of dipping and coating the model in ceramic slurry is repeated multiple times, typically 5 to 7 cycles. After each cycle, the model is dried in climate-controlled drying rooms to ensure that the ceramic shell becomes rock-solid and ready to withstand the melting process. This tough shell will later hold the molten metal that will form the final trophy. 5. High-temperature firing and wax removal. When the ceramic shell is complete, it is placed into a high-temperature kiln at 800 degrees Celsius. The beeswax inside the mold immediately liquefies and exits the mold through vents, leaving a hollow space where the metal will later be poured. This process is what shapes the mold, and the shell is now ready for the next step, pouring molten gold into the mold. 6. Transition from handcraft to technology. Once the wax has been burned out, the process moves to the metal pouring stage. At this point, vacuum casting technology ensures that the molten metal is poured without any contamination. This process prevents oxygen from affecting the molten gold, eliminating any risk of bubbles or oxidation on the surface. The vacuum casting chamber is a significant advancement in the process, as it creates an oxygen-free environment that guarantees the gold flows perfectly into the mold, even in the smallest crevices of the design. This ensures that the final product has precise details and is structurally flawless. The ceramic-encased wax is shoved into an electrostatic kiln at 800 degrees Celsius. All the beeswax inside instantly ignites, liquefies, and bleeds out through tiny vents. The wax is lost, leaving behind a completely hollow negative space inside the ceramic block. On the other side of the foundry, the metallurgical furnace is blazing. The original trophy is not made of 24-karat pure gold. 99.99% gold is too soft. It would easily dent or scratch when champions kiss it, claw at it, or thrust it into the air in sheer ecstasy. Instead, metallurgists use 18-karat gold, 18K. The perfect ratio is 75% pure gold, alloyed with 25% silver, copper, and zinc. This intervention of material science creates two miracles. First, it maximizes physical hardness, turning the trophy into an indestructible monolith. Second, The addition of copper and silver grants the trophy a deep, mesmerizing, warm golden glow rather than a cheap, blinding yellow. The temperature in the crucible hits 1064 degrees Celsius. The gold alloy melts into a glowing liquid that looks as though it contains the sun itself. In the past, gold was poured by hand in the open air. But oxygen is the enemy of liquid metal. It creates air bubbles and surface oxidation pitting. Today, the pouring process takes place inside a vacuum casting chamber. Pumps drain all the air, creating an absolute vacuum. The liquid gold is poured into the ceramic shell. The zero-gravity, oxygen-free environment forces the gold to fill every microscopic structure of the ceramic mold perfectly. That is the moment fire and quantum physics merge to birth an icon. Once the metal cools, the craftsman uses a small hammer to tap it lightly. Crack! The ceramic shell shatters, falling to the floor, revealing the rough, yet impossibly proud silhouette of the heart of the world. A $20 million masterpiece allows for absolutely zero hidden flaws. Before it can be polished, the rough gold block must pass the ultimate test of modern technology, non-destructive X-ray testing, NDT. The gold is placed into a scanning chamber. X-rays penetrate the thick metal, capturing its entire internal molecular structure on a computer monitor. Engineers hunt for microfractures or air bubbles hidden deep within the core. If a void the size of a pinhead is detected, the gold block is rejected and must be melted down from scratch. Only a metal block with a 100% solid, flawless core is allowed to move to the most agonizing phase, chasing. Machines can guarantee physical structure, but only human hands can breathe a soul into a statue. Using tiny steel chisels, the sculptor patiently strikes thousands of hammer blows. They refine the eyes, the locks of hair, and every muscle fiber of the two athletes. This stage takes weeks of intensely grueling labor. The body of the statue is sanded to retain its rough texture, while the globe is buffed with a high-speed rotary tool until it shines like a flawless mirror. But the beauty of the trophy would be incomplete without GAZZANIGA's final 2 strokes of genius. At the base of the trophy, 2 empty grooves wait. Craftsmen use a high-pressure water jet machine to precisely cut 2 rings of natural malachite gemstone. Why malachite? Its deep green color with stunning swirling veins represents the green of the pitch, the grass field where all the emotions of the beautiful game are born. These 2 rings are bonded to the gold base using a specialized industrial epoxy, ensuring they withstand any impact when players hoist the cup. Finally, to mask any discoloration caused by the polishing and thermal welding, the trophy undergoes the ultimate chemical baptism, galvanic electroplating. The trophy is submerged in a bath of pure gold salt solution equipped with electrodes. Direct current, DC, is activated. At the molecular level, pure 24K gold ions from the solution are magnetically drawn to and permanently bond with the 18K surface. This process plates the outside of the trophy in an ultra-thin armor of pure gold, just a few micrometers thick, but enough to erase any blemishes, creating the most blinding, brilliant, and pure glow possible. When the trophy is lifted from the crystal-clear water and dried, the halo explodes. It is complete. The marriage of modern machinery and millennial craftsmanship has produced a flawless masterpiece without a speck of error. There is one final secret resting at the very bottom of the trophy. If you turn this icon upside down, you will see a golden plate engraved with the names of every nation that has ever lifted it into the sky, beginning with West Germany in 1974. The spiral space on this plate only has enough room to engrave the champions' names until the 2038 World Cup. After that, a new era of football may have to begin. But the harshest reality FIFA imposed to protect this icon after the JULES RIMET theft is this: no national team, no player, nor any head of state in the world is ever allowed to take the original trophy home. Immediately following the frantic on-pitch celebrations amidst flares and confetti, the $20 million original trophy is quietly taken back. It is secured inside a highly classified, code-locked case designed by Louis Vuitton and flown back to FIFA's underground, maximum security vault in Zurich. The winning team is only allowed to take home a gold-plated bronze replica, crafted by the very same Bertoni foundry, using the exact same process. The original trophy is eternal. It belongs to no single individual. It belongs to the history of mankind. In the summer of 2026, across the colossal stadiums of North America, 48 national teams will step into the light. They will fight until their muscles tear, shedding blood and tears of despair. Billions of hearts will pound erratically in front of screens, all just for the right to stand under the flashing lights, to press their bare hands against this 6-kilogram golden sculpture for a few fleeting minutes of coronation. But that is never a waste of emotion, because when a champion hoists this trophy, they are not just holding a block of metal cast from wax, X-ray tech, and blazing Italian furnaces. They are hoisting the weight of history. They are hoisting the labor of Silvio GAZZANIGA's genius, the absolute precision of modern science, and the thirst for glory of an entire nation. You are not just looking at a cup. You are witnessing the greatest symbol humanity has ever forged. Welcome to immortality.